Race number 22 of the Allstar Offline Racing Series. Welcome to Talladega. So we're starting qualifying, see who gets the pole. We saw the Talladega race. The first one was crazy, a lot of crashes, carnage, and a pretty good finish too, simulating qualifying. Wow, 60 of Colton Harmon gets the pole. The 33 Sheila Harmon, she was the winner of the qualifying race at Talladega earlier this season. Been a race I've been excited for. I don't know if the points are going to change a whole lot in the main race, but I cannot wait for that race. So we've got the 60 Colton Harmon, the 1 of Aiden Nofile on the front row. Aiden Nofile, great finish last week. Gained a lot of points on the 11 of Rhiannon Pickett. Also passed the 16 of CJ Williams. Both the 16 and the 11 out. They did not make the main race last week. So CJ Williams third. Fourth place Sheila Harmon. Fourth place Sheila Harmon. She won the qualifying race here at Talladega earlier this season. And she finished in the top 10 in the main race. Got the 66 of Darvish Jr., the 11 of Rhiannon Pickett, the 40 of Tim Hoffman, the 50 of Cody Rhodes, the 20 of Yale Carrillo, the 4 of Gary Harmon, the 41 of Tyrell Resner, the 09 Evan McCollum, the 00 Jeremiah Dwayne, involved in a wreck here earlier this season in the qualifying race, the 91 of Logan Gentry, got the 188 Racer X, the 148 Brian Lancaster, and the 27 Benjamin Wallace. Okay, they're already in turn 3 and 4 in the pace lap. So we saw a wild race. I cannot wait. I'm so excited for this race. Not only the qualifying race, but the main race. After this race, I'm pretty sure we will know who has the best shot at winning the championship. After the main race, that is. This is race number 22 out of 25. We have Lowe's, Martinsville, and Atlanta coming up next. Atlanta, the final race of the season. That is going to be a crazy race. I can guarantee you that one. So the 60 of Colton Harmon going to lead the field to the green flag. They are approaching the start-finish line. And the green flag in the air. The cars race down the front stretch. Looks like Aiden Nofile that won. He got a better start than the 60 of Colton Harmon. Right now they're side by side. Aiden has the advantage, but Colton's coming back on the inside. See, 3 wide already. This is going to be a crazy qualifying race. I think it is. So they're still drag racing down the backstretch. The 60 and the 1 side by side. We've got 4 wide further back here. Entering turn 3, 4 wide, 3 wide for the lead. Look at Tim Hoffman on the inside, that number 40. He's going to go by both Colton and Aiden Nofile. They are so close together. This pack of cars, so close to wrecking already. I mean, you can see first through last in just one little shot. Yo, Carrillo, CJ Williams, side by side. 4 wide for the lead now. Tyrell Resner going to try to take it. And that final transfer position was the 11 of Rhiannon Pickett. You see how far back she's fallen. She's in 16th, 17th place right now. In one turn, she fell back that many positions. Tyrell Resner trying to block Tim Hoffman. Thought he was going to go up and make some contact with Tim. Colton Harmon and Aiden Nofile both on the outside line. The very outside line. They have no drafting help. They're going to fall back. Tim Hoffman now up on that high line. They are touching out of turn number 4. No crash. I am on the edge of my seat watching this thing. 4 wide, almost 5 wide in the tri-oval. I don't know how they're doing it. Jeremiah Dwayne, I think, led that lap. Jeremiah Dwayne, Tyrell Resner, first and second. Here comes the 188, the 148, Brian Lancaster, and the 188's Racer X. Oh, man, the 40 almost got spun out by the 66. 3 and 4 wide. This is amazing racing in the qualifying race. I don't think we saw this in the first qualifying race here at Talladega. Everybody literally has a shot. It just depends on if there's a crash. If there's a crash, obviously anyone damaged is probably going to be taken out of the contention to possibly make the main race. Still 3 wide. Again, 4 wide through the tri-oval. The 188 and the 91 are close to each other. Lap number 4 out of 10. We might be able to go green flag. We saw the night race at Daytona. There was a crash in the qualifying race. And the way they're racing here, there probably is going to be a crash as well. So the 148 Brian Lancaster out front. Here comes the 33 Sheila Harmon. Remember, she won the race, the qualifying race, earlier at Talladega this year. She seems to be pretty good at these super speedway tracks. And almost makes some contact. There's a crash in the back. Haha.Also hard into the wall. The 66 of Darvish Jr.'s around Colton Harmon was involved in that crash as well. We'll have to go back and see what happens. I think everyone here is going to make it to the line without wrecking. Let's just make sure that they stay off of each other. So Darvish Jr., the 66, his day is definitely done. That was it looked like a hard hit. Haha.Also was involved. I thought Aiden was involved in that harder than what he was. So 3 cars here. See, Aiden has some damage. Colton also has some damage as well. Not a lot. But then you have the 66 of Darvish Jr., and he has got heavy damage. Well, let's go back and let's check it out. These cars, they were racing so close together. I honestly thought there was going to be a wreck earlier. It looks like they're 3 wide, 4 wide almost. Colton just runs into Aiden, and Aiden spins it out, wrecks it. Haha.Also kind of used that 66 as a pick. The 66 of Darvish Jr. Was really the only car that hit the wall hard. Aiden did hit the wall, but not all that hard. See again, exiting turn 4, just bam. Now, if that was in the front of the field, that would have been probably bigger, obviously. We saw in the main race, the first time around at Talladega, the first caution happened right at that spot, turn number 4. That's where the first caution happens at today. Brian Lancaster, the 148, he is going to lead the halfway point of this race. Darvish Jr. has retired. I'm pretty sure the 60 and the 1 are probably going to be out of contention. They did come down pit road, it looks like. Maybe not. I thought the 1 came down. I thought the 1 would have came down and fixed his car. Haha.Also, he is trying to make the main race, trying to get past the 11 of Randon Pickett at the points. And Clint Spillman, he did not repair his car. It still is damaged. I don't know how slow they're going to be, if they're going to be off the pace. We should have about 2 or 3 laps to go in this main race when we get back under green. Going to take a quick break. We will be back with the green flag. Well, we'll be back before that. So the pace car on lap number 7, pace lights are still on, so something, I guess, well, nothing happened. I don't know, I guess they're just doing an extra lap for some reason. So we will be getting the green flag with 2 laps to go. Lap number 9 out of 10, it's going to be a dash to the finish. See who qualifies into the main race. 11 of Brnagan and Pickett, the 16 CJ Williams, they are right outside of the transfer position. Gary Harmon, that 4 car, he would really like to make his way into the top 10 and get a transfer position. He hasn't been in a main race in I don't know how long. I think it's been since Indianapolis, I think, if I remember correctly, or Bristol. No, actually, Chicagoland was the last race I remember. I don't know. Anyway, see if he can work his way up to the front. So hopefully we get the one to go this time by. If not, then we're just going to have a 1-lap shootout. If the pace lights go off on the pace car this time by when he gets to the start-finish line, then we will have a 2-lap shootout, and it's going to be a mad dash to the finish. We are hoping that the lights go off. I would love to see a 2-lap shootout here. Moment of truth right here, coming up. Alright. So, lap number 9, we are going to be going back to green flag. It is going to be a 2-lap shootout here. Let's go through the field here. You see the 60 and the 1, both damaged from the first crash. Don't know how they're going to hold up. If there's a crash ahead of them, they could really benefit. 4 of Gary Harmon, he has been pretty strong off and on. Lately has not been able to qualify into the main races. But we saw a very impressive run at Pocono. He did a great job there. The 50 of Cody Rhodes won the qualifying race last week. He has been pretty impressive as well. CJ Williams, a 16. When we first started these qualifying races, he was one of the best at them. He was always up near the front, always qualifying into the main races. As of late, the last maybe 10 races, he has really struggled with these races, and that's why he is further down in points. The 11 of Brnagan Pickett got off to a decent season, won the pole at Rockingham. I believe that was at Rockingham. And but she ended up wrecking, and she just has not really had a good finish, or really have any good finishes this season. She's far back, 33rd in points. 27, Benjamin Wallace almost won at Texas. I think he probably would have had the car to win, but ended up having a mechanical failure and out of the race. Evan McCollum's been pretty strong. Racer X 188, he has been strong at Daytona, we saw, and right now in a transfer position. Tyrell Resner, that 41, the green and white car, he has been very strong this season. The 40 of Tim Hoffman just has not had too much luck. The 91, Logan Gentry, Sheila Harmon, even the 20 of Yale Carrillo, they haven't had a whole lot of luck. That 00, Jeremiah Dwayne, 3rd place. Him and Tyrell Resner, I believe, have the most wins in the qualifying races this season. I think. At least last time I checked, they did. So, the 148, Brian Lancaster, going to lead the field back to the green flag. Restart lap number 9 out of 10. We are underway. 2 more laps to go here at Talladega. That 33, Sheila Harmon, trying to make a move on the outside of Jeremiah. Same with that 20. They went to the outside. I think Sheila actually might have scraped the wall a little bit. She's a little slower, and she's going to lose a couple positions. Going to lose 2 positions on the start. 3 wide for second. Here comes the 91 of Logan Gentry. Tim Hoffman, Tyrell Resner. Jeremiah Dwayne has no drafting help right now. The 60 and 1 are still with the pack for the most part. Brnagan Pickett right now has the final transfer position. And that 4 of Gary Harmon, he's trying to make his way to the front of this pack. Will there be a crash on the last lap? Aid No File, Colton Harmon somehow are able to keep up with this pack. Sheila Harmon now has the final transfer position. She might fall back. Here comes Gary Harmon on the inside. He's going to get past Brandon Pickett and Sheila Harmon. He's saying it's my time to be in one of these races. 4 wide back here. The 27 Benjamin Wallace has the race lead. Somehow they did not wreck. Here comes the 50, the 1 of Aid No File. Look at the 40 of Tim Hoffman making a very aggressive move. The 27 Benjamin Wallace blocked him. But Tim Hoffman, I think, might get the win. Here comes the 00, Jeremiah Dwayne. 4 wide back here. I don't even know who has the final transfer position now. 4 wide, 2 rows deep. Are they going to be able to make it back to the start-finish line? The 4 of Gary Harmon was able to work his way into the transfer spot. Here comes the 148 yet again. It's going to be Tim Hoffman down the line. I think Gary Harmon might have the final transfer spot. That number 4 car does. Gary Harmon barely makes it in over Yale Carrillo in that number 20. Oh, the 188 and the 33 just hit each other. So Gary Harmon, that was by far, I think, the closest finish we've had. Tim Hoffman getting his first, I believe his first qualifying race win. Let's go back and look at the 4 of Gary Harmon. And that was a mad dash to the finish. I thought it was a little closer between him and that 20. Gary Harmon, the final transfer position, made it just a little bit over that 20 of Yale Carrillo. Look how close some of these drivers are up here. The 188, the 33, the 91. That was a very fun race to watch. Tim Hoffman getting the win. Jeremiah Dwayne almost got another qualifying win. Somehow that 4 of Gary Harmon, he made it into this race, knocking out Yale Carrillo, Cody Rhodes. Unfortunately, Aid No File, CJ Williams, they are not in the main race. They are going to lose a lot of points. Rhiannon Pickett, she qualified. She got 5th. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a fun race, guys. Let's get ready for Talladega. We will be back in a few seconds to set that race up, and then we will try to enjoy the ride. See you then. Welcome back to Talladega. We're going to get qualifying underway for the main race. Race number 22 out of 25. After today, I think we're going to know who can win the championship. Going to simulate qualifying real quick. Like always, if you look in the description or the comments, you can find the timestamps and follow along with the race if you don't want to watch every single lap or if you don't want to watch the caution laps. Let's get this thing underway. The 5 of Damian Singletary gets the pole. He starts first. Alongside him is the 2 of Tim Brnagan. Jacob Britt third. 4th, Sam Oskin, the Daytona 500 winner. Got the 43 of Dawson Montenegro, the 04 of John Book. He's fallen outside of the top 15 in points. One of our first points, or actually our first points contender in the top 5, that is the 45 of Tim Zimmer starting near the front. That sometimes is a good thing. The starts of these races are very crazy. 37 Cesar Ramirez beside him. 81 of Skylar Rocha almost won last race at Dover on the last lap. Oh, coming to the last lap. The 80 of Stephen Pollard passed him and won the race. Skylar finished second, moved himself up in the points. Beside him is the 0 of Alex Bruno. We had the 15 of Hunter Blade, the 97 of Gavin Jones, the 88 of Josh Hardiman, a good run last week. Actually, no, he was a lap down, I'm sorry. That was the race before, I believe. I don't know. But he is kind of okay in the points. The 4 of Gary Harmon making his appearance in this race at Talladega. The 18 of Kagan Polshiner, the 38 of Sean Howe, the 09 Evan McCollum, the 25 Felix Buecher, one of the other points contenders in the top 5, just moved up to 5th, pushed Sam Oskin back to 6th. The 41 Tyrell Resner, the 74 Logan York, starting to make his way up towards the front in the points. I think he's up in 13th. Got the 24 of Pablo West and the 6 of Simon Zarnato, one of the points contenders in the top 5. We have the 80 of Stephen Pollard and the 9 of Bruce Zero. We've got the 14 of Sarah Roach and the 21 Robbie Bannister. The 80 and the 14, first and second in the points, starting deep in the field. And you've got the 188 Racer X, 32 Brett Taylor, the 30 of Ron Jackson, the 00 Jeremiah Dwayne, the 33 Sheila Harmon, the 11 of Rhiannon Pickett, the 7 of Tina Livingston, the 90 of Jacob Johnson, the 17 Alexander Jones, the 91 of Logan Gentry. Forgot to say that 7 of Tina Livingston is in, I think, 8th place in points. She's up in the top 10. 148 of Brian Lancaster, the 48 of Brian Benjamin, the 42 Hugo Jimenez, the 99 Axel Zero, the 40 of Tim Hoffman, and the 8 of Clint Spillman. Rounds out the full field of cars.
Drivers, start your engines!
So the cars get the command to start the engines. We saw the first race here at Talladega. That was a very wild race. And actually the first caution came on the first lap in turn 3 and 4. Actually, exiting turn 4. Josh Hardiman was the unlucky bystander of that crash. That was a pretty hard crash, too. So hopefully they can make it a little longer today. Hopefully they can make it a very long time, but I don't think that's going to be the case. This track is bizarre. It is crazy how these cars race and all that. And we're going to see a lot of crashing, a lot of contact, I'm sure of it. Although I said the same thing last race at Dover, caution-free the entire race. So the 5, Damien Singletary, leading the 42 car field down towards the start-finish line. Patiently waiting for the green flag. Everybody is. And the green flag in the air now. The car's going up to speed. Damien Singletary, Tim Brnagan on the front row. Tim has his teammate, the 12 of Sam Oskin, right behind him. The 17 back there, Alexander Jones, the only car that actually went out of line before the turn. There's Kagan Polshiner, the 18 on the bottom. Damien Singletary has the lead momentarily. He's got the advantage, but Tim is coming back on the outside. Tim side by side with him. You see the cars going left and right, moving back and forth. Look at the 43 Dawson Montenegro being pushed by the 45 of Tim Zimmer. That's on the inside line. Oh, there's a crash. Rhiannon Pickett upside down. Rhiannon Pickett hard into the wall. Tim Brnagan, Hugo Jimenez. Make sure everybody else can get back to the line without any issues. Look at this. It's going to be 4 wide to the lead, or to the line. The lead. 4 wide. I think Tim Zimmer in the 45 is going to get the lead. He is. He leads the first lap. And there's another crash. The 17. And another crash. Felix Buecher. Is that the 14 or the 50? The 14, Sarah Rocha. The 74, Logan York. All involved in this crash. Another points contender yet again involved in a crash. Sarah Rocha, heavy damage on that car. 17, Alexander Jones. I think Simon Zornato might have gotten a piece of it. He is a points contender. See the 9 of Bruce Zera, the 21, Robbie Bannister. Oh my gosh, this is already a crazy race. Somehow I think Stephen Pollard made it through, and he is near the top 10 as well. I think Stephen Pollard, he's running in, what, 15th? Rhiannon Pickett, heavy damage on her car. Logan York, his day probably going to be done. A lot of cars with damage. The 21, Robbie Bannister. The 7 of Tina Livingston has damage. The 14, Sarah Rocha. Is she going to come down pit road, or is she staying out? Now, there is kind of an advantage of being involved in the first crash, as long as you don't have enough damage to where it ends your day. And if you can stay kind of close to the lead pack, you usually can avoid all the wrecks. And, you know, the points leader, and there's Tim Zimmer, they're still in the race. Simon Zornato without damage. So, the 25 Felix Buecher and the 14 Sarah Rocha, yeah, I mean, even the 32 of Brett Taylor. and the 7 of Tina Livingston, they don't have too much damage. They should be able to repair their cars. They should be able to get back out on the track and not hopefully lose too much time. See, the 74 of Logan York did retire. Well, that was a crazy start to this race. Obviously, we saw the 11 of Rand and Pickett upside down. That was right on the start. They weren't even up to speed yet, I don't think. Well, yeah, they weren't even up to speed. That was about 176 miles an hour. Let's rewind just a little bit. Looked like the double zero. Jeremiah Dwayne went up. He almost spun Ron Jackson out, and then they were okay. Brandon Pickett then gets dumped, and right there, she barrel rolls into the turn, up into the wall. I believe she probably barrel rolls. Yep. Unfortunate for her. That was a hard hit, too. I mean, upside down like that, you hit the outside wall, and then you come down the track. That is never a fun moment. Watch it again. And right here, she just gets turned. Let's go on board and watch from Tim Hoffman's view. And Clint Spillman. They both had pretty cool shots of that all happening. So let's ride on board with Tim Hoffman. See the wreck is starting to happen up front here. Check up and then ran and pick it upside down. And Tim was involved in that crash. Doesn't have a lot of damage, but he does have damage. Clint Spillman somehow made it through that crash. Watch on board with him. You see that 11 car upside down hits the wall, and from there it's on. Now let's watch. I don't know if Sarah Rocha was. They made contact there, the 17 and the 14? No, I don't know, it looked like it. I don't know who was involved in this crash. I think it might have been the 74 of Logan York. Oh my gosh, they were 5 wide. 5 wide? That does not work, obviously. They are already under the caution, and Felix Buecher and, ooh, Sarah Rocha hit pretty hard. So did that 74 of Logan York. Sarah Rocha second in the points. She did not need this. She needed a good day, possibly even a win. Let's see, Logan York definitely got the worst of it here. Hard into the wall. Tina Livingston, Sarah Rocha. Say those three, and even Robbie Bannister. I don't know how he got the damage he has, but he had a lot of damage there, and he was another unfortunate bystander in this accident. Oh, yep, that's how. So, cars that retired: Logan York, Rhiannon Pickett, Tim Hoffman. 3 cars out of the race. Tim Zimmer still the race leader. Stephen Pollard back in 14th. Sam Oskin 11th. Skylar Rocha's 12th. He's a points contender that is doing pretty well right now. Simon Zarnato, the 6th. He is back in 21st. Somehow missed that crash. And everybody else back here has damage. At the 32, Brett Taylor, 31st position. Sarah Rocha, right now 35th. That's not what she needs. Her car is going to probably be one of the slower cars on the track right now with all the damage that she has. The 7 of Tina Livingston is in 36th. 37th to Felix Buecher. Those 3 drivers, 14, 7, and 25, are points contenders. So the first crash happening, the big one, and then the big one 2, I guess you could call it, all in one lap. So the pace lights are off. We will be going back to green next time by. So the field on the backstretch getting ready for the restart. Tim Zimmer made his way to the front. A lot of points contenders already having issues. Lap number 1. That is the dreaded lap 1 crash that seems to happen at Talladega. It's the second time it's happened. Might see about next year maybe toning this track down a little bit. I had it to where you could really go like 20 or so laps, even 10 laps without a caution. But I don't know. Right now, the current configuration seems to be a little wild, a little too wild actually. When there's not wrecks, it's great racing, that's for sure. So the 45 of Tim Zimmer gonna lead the field to the green flag. Dawson Montenegro second, third Tim Brnagan, fourth Damian Singletary, and fifth Kagan Polshiner. Will we have a new winner today, or will we have a repeat winner? Green flag is back in the air. Tim Zimmer gets a great start. Dawson Montenegro, he held back just a little bit. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but if it was on purpose, then that was a mistake, because here comes that 2 of Tim Brnagan. Tim taking second place away. Dawson does not have any immediate help. That 15 car is further back. Everybody single and double file. That 14 of Sarah Rocha is definitely off the pace. I think the 7 of Tina Livingston is as well. It might not be a bad thing, but we'll have to see how this race plays out in the next few laps. So Tim Brnagan now goes to the lead. Here comes the 5 of Damian Singletary. He's trying to take the lead away now, trying to at least get a run. Look at that 80 of Stephen Pollard. Makes a move on the inside further back. He's starting to get his way towards the top 10. He'll be in the top 10, actually. So Tim Brnagan, a nice little lead he has. Battle for second place here. Will we have another crash sometime soon? Who will it take out? I want to see speeds real quick. Robbie Bannister, about 176 miles an hour, and everybody else seems to be kind of up to speed, I guess. All these cars are up to speed, but the field already kind of small, and this race isn't even anywhere close to halfway. Look at that 0 Alex Bruna making it 4 wide, putting the points leader in 4 wide predicament. That 80 of Stephen Pollard 4 wide, now 3 wide. Oh, and Jacob Britt's around. There's a crash behind the points leader. And, oh my gosh, I don't think that really took a lot of drivers out. Not like I thought it did. Tyrell Resner was involved. Really, I think that's the only major damage from that wreck. Tyrell Resner. Oh, and the points leader was in the wall. The 80 of Stephen Pollard. Can he get his car fired up? No, he can't. Oh my gosh. What the heck happened with him? Was there... I don't know if there was a crash or if somebody just spun him out. Oh, the 45 of Tim Zimmer. He has a lot of damage. It looks like 2 of the points contenders wrecked each other. Oh my gosh. This has just gotten even crazier. Now that 6 of Simon Zarnato, the only car that is, well, him and Skylar Rocha, they are 2 of the only cars up near the front that are even anywhere near the top 5 in points. Same with that 12 of Simon Oskin. He's back in 19th. Oh my gosh, this has been it's getting crazier. Alex Bruno coming down pit road. A couple of cars seem to be coming down pit road. I don't know if that's scheduled or if they have damage. Stephen Pollard, his day is definitely done. He's got a lot of damage. Well, first we need to go back and check out the 29 of Jacob Britt. There he actually is coming down pit road along with some of the other damaged cars. John Book has damage. I thought that wreck was going to be a lot worse than it was, and it didn't really seem like it. 14 looks like she has more damage on her car. I think Sarah Rocha was involved in another crash, possibly. We got to go back and check this all out. This is a bizarre turn of events. So this was up in the lead pack. Jacob Britt, I don't know if he... It was 4 wide, 3 and 4 wide. It got really close. Tim Zimmer up top, and yeah, Gavin Jones spun Jacob Britt out. Jacob did not hit anything. I'm very surprised. Oh, Sheila Harmon, Alexander Jones, they were involved. Like I said, I don't know how that 14 of Sarah Rocha was involved in a crash. She does have damage to her car. Watch from Tyrell Resner's view. He almost made it through, and Gavin Jones spun him out. That's how Jacob Britt and the 188 car, that's how they got their damage. Tyrell was hit by the 30, the 33, and the 17. Let's rewind this a little bit and see what happened to the 80 of Stephen Pollard, the points leader entering this race. I don't know where that happened. I guess obviously turn 1 and 2. They were 4 wide again. That just, 4 wide does not work too well. Looks like Tim Zimmer might have just clipped him, maybe? Yep, he just clipped him, and they wrecked, unfortunately, and everybody did a good job missing that wreck. Try to see where the 14 car, Sarah Rocha, where she got her damage. I don't know. I mean, she might have... I don't think she had that damage before. I don't know if maybe they... Oh, there was a checkup. Oh. Yep, that would be how she got her damage. So now out of the race, the 45 of Tim Zimmer, the 80 now of Stephen Pollard retires. More points contenders having issues. It's been a crazy race already. We haven't really seen any green flag laps. So the top 5 in points right now are running 9th place. That is the 6 of Simon Zarnato. Let's see, 9th place. 31st place, that is the 25 of Felix Buecher. 33rd place, the 14 of Sarah Rocha. And then 38th and 39th, that is the 80 and the 45, Stephen Pollard and Tim Zimmer. So Simon Zarnato, the only driver in the top 5 that is actually doing good. With the 80 of Stephen Pollard being out of the race, this could allow a lot of drivers to gain massive points. It depends on if we have more crashes, though. We're not even close to halfway in this race. But Tim Zimmer, unfortunately, he is out of the race, and he isn't going to be able to capitalize on the 80 of Stephen Pollard. The 74 of Logan York, this is not what he needed. He's out of the race. So a lot of points contenders in trouble, damaged. Now, the thing with the 14 and the 25 is if they're damaged, they're hoping that there's a few more crashes, and they want to be able to make it to the front, and they're not going to be able to, not with the damage they have. Felix Buecher, that 25, he might be able to get up to the front. But all of these drivers now are able to gain at least 100 points on the points leader, Stephen Pollard. It depends on who takes the points lead away. Right now, that 6 of Simon Zarnato is the only driver that is in the top 10 running in 9th place. I'll check the points real quick as they run. See, whoops. So next time we're going to get the green flag and we're going to go back to racing. So Sarah Rocha, second in points, she's 129 points out of the lead. Simon Zarnato is third, 137 points out. Tim Zimmer, 184 points back. Felix Buecher, 204. So, I mean, there's a lot of drivers, though, from about 6th to, I would say, maybe 14th or 15th that could get within striking distance. Should the 6 and the 14 finish further back. Now the thing is, those drivers, they need to at least finish halfway up in the field, at least near 20th or so. And that would shut the gap down from Stephen Pollard to everyone else a little bit. Oh my gosh, this has been a crazy race already. The first 10 laps have been wild. 3 crashes, 2 cautions, a couple lead changes, and a lot of points implications for these drivers. 2 of the points contenders out of the race in 38th and 39th. But let's look at that too of Tim Brnagan leading this race. He won the Allstar race earlier. Well, the Winston Allstar, whatever you want to call it. Won that race. Almost won at Chicagoland. Had fresh tires, but could not catch that 14 of Sarah Rocha. But right now he is leading this race. 21 of Robbie Bannister is unfortunately not going to be able to win here at Talladega. He did win earlier this season. He has a lot of damage. He did at least have a lot of damage on his car. So it's going to be interesting to see who is up to speed and who is not. So they're going through the tri-oval. If and when will we see another crash? I'm pretty sure we will. Maybe. So Tim Brnagan, the 2, leading the field back to the green flag. We're back underway here at Talladega. Let's hope that we can make it a few laps at least. At least. 09 Evan McCollum trying to take second from Hunter Blade. Hunter does not have any help at all up top. Simon Zornato further back, a couple positions back. He is on the high side. Looks like he might get passed by a few cars. Meanwhile, there is a huge gap of cars, or a huge gap between the cars, between up here and all the way back here. They're racing hard back here too, 3 and 4 wide. Ooh, this might not end well for some of them. It doesn't look like we have a lot of cars, maybe about 20 cars in the lead pack. Once this thing gets underway and once we get all the cars kind of formed together. So will we have another crash? We saw in the first Talladega race there was another crash. And when they had like a couple more crashes where there wasn't a lot of cars left, a lot of the damaged cars were able to hang with the lead pack then. Tim Brnagan still the race leader. He is in a great position. Same with that 6 of Simon Zornato and the 81 of Skylar Rocha. There's a lot of movement back here. Cars are going all sorts of different directions, left and right. Dawson Montenegro making it 4 wide. Oh my gosh, might not be good. This is right in front of the 6 of Simon Zornato. It's with the 81 of Skylar Rocha. They make some contact. They don't wreck though, somehow. Now through the tri-oval, Skylar Rocha and that 6 of Simon Zornato, they are kind of like the lone drivers up here. They're the 2 that are really fighting for the championship, trying to gain as many points as possible. And right now they are battling each other in all sorts of cars and trying to keep it off of each other. Meanwhile, the 18 of Kegan Polshiner takes the lead away from Tim Brnagan. See a lot of cars, the 14 and the 25, very badly damaged, and they are off the pace tremendously. Ooh, the 09 Evan McCollum might clip the 24, Pablo West. He didn't. I don't know how he didn't. Will we see another crash? I'm pretty sure they are racing 3 and 4 wide through the tri-oval. Now the 99 of Axel Zero has the lead. Look at that, the 4 of Gary Harmon up near the front. There's a crash. The 24, Felix Buecher was in the wall. No crash, no caution. Felix Buecher, heavy damage on that car. Oh, and Kegan Polshiner's in the wall. And there's no crash again. Tim Brnagan was in the wall as well. Simon Zornato, the 6, is the leader now. I don't know how any of them made it without wrecking. Back here we're looking at some of the speeds, and some of them are a little faster than others, but for the most part they are pretty slow. You see the 24 Pablo West is going to come down pit road. He has a lot of damage on that car. There's a couple cars. Evan McCollum, Tim Brnagan, Kagan Polshiner, all coming down pit road. They're all going to be at least a lap down. Meanwhile, up front, Simon Zarnato leading this race. There's 10 cars in this pack, and that is it. We're going to watch on the top left up here. If you look right here, you can kind of see 11th through 20th place and see how far back they are. Hopefully they can make their way back towards the front and catch up to these lead pack race cars. 37 of Cesar Ramirez now trying to take the lead away from Simon Zarnato. He will do just that. With those cars coming down pit road and having damage like they do, that is going to help the 14 of Sarah Rocha and the 25 Felix Buecher. My gosh, they're 4 wide again. These cars are catching, well, I think they're catching the leaders. Maybe, maybe not. There's cars coming out of pit road. 18 of Kagan Polshiner right in front of traffic. Are they going to wreck? Oh, they get by somehow. They get by him without wrecking. That was a little scary. 4 wide again here. Simon Zarnato hoping he does not get involved in one of these crashes. He is the highest running points contender. And if this race ended the way it is currently running, he would be the points leader right now. But they are not done racing up front. They are 4 wide again. Simon Zarnato's got to be careful. If he gets into the wall, then he's going to have trouble, and that would be all 5 of the top 5 drivers in the points having issues. 38 of Sean Howe, now the race leader. This is definitely our longest green flag run. I don't know how we didn't have a crash before. Oh my gosh, the 24 is really slow. Can they get by him? Actually, they do. The entire pack, the entire lead pack gets by that 24. That was amazing. The reason that's amazing, you normally in this game don't see the lead cars able to get past damaged cars that are off the pace. Look at the 88 of Josh Hardiman. He was out of the race on the first time by here at Talladega, out of the race on lap number 1. And right now, he's doing a pretty good job. He's up in the top 10. He's battling for the lead. So 12 cars now in this lead pack, and that's all we have here. Josh Hardiman now to the lead. Evan McCollum pretty slow right now, not too slow. These 2 cars are going to cause an issue, the 21 and the 25. See here, some of these drivers are racing with each other. Everyone else pretty much up to speed. These drivers really need a caution. That's what they need. They need another caution to regroup. That's pretty much everybody from 13th on back needs a caution. Josh Hardiman out front. They are catching that 09 Evan McCollum. Where do they go? Are they going to be able to make it past him? Will we have another crash? Evan McCollum going to slow the top line down. Now Josh Hardiman gets by. Josh Hardiman, the only car that's able to get by. I think everyone's going to be up to speed, though. I don't think Evan's not too slow. This is going to possibly allow some other cars to, well, maybe not. I was going to say it's going to allow some other cars to catch up to this pack. But these cars are so far back here. They're racing. Racing back there for position. So Evan McCollum now joins this group of cars. Josh Hardiman, the race leader. A couple cars a lap. Well, actually, a lot of cars are a lap down. The 24 Pablo West, 2 laps down. Tim Brnagan, Kagan Polshiner, Evan McCollum are a lap down. Felix Buecher is running in 33rd. There was some contact between the 148 and the 15. Felix Buecher running in 33rd. 30th, Sarah Rocha. They're going to gain some points over Stephen Pollard, but they're going to lose a lot over that 6, Simon Zarnato. These cars are battling so hard up here. 3 and 4 wide. Simon Zarnato making his way back towards the front. Look at Axel Zera. He is back in the lead. Now these cars are going to be catching these slower cars on this lap. Maybe not this lap, but the next time by. And the 21-25, they are battling each other side by side. So that's going to create some issues for these leaders. It looks like the middle line and the top line might get stuck. The 37 Cesar Ramirez will take the lead. And now everybody's stuck behind the 21 and the 25. And that is going to throw this lead pack. There's lead pack off. Oh, there's a crash. Simon Zornato. Oh, there's a big crash with the leaders. Simon Zornato was involved in it. Oh, Gavin Jones is going to get hit by Logan Gentry. Cars stopped on the track. No one can see where they're going. Oh, watch out, watch out. And somehow Simon Zornato manages to escape that crash again. Evan McCollum, hard crash for him. Logan Gentry as well. Well, 37, Cesar Ramirez out front. This is crazy. We're a little over halfway. Actually, no, we're not. This time by is going to be halfway. I mean, we are so close to basically not having any cars left. But, oh, the 24 Pablo West, hard into the wall. The 0 of Alex Bruno, I don't know what happened with them. Gary Harmon's in pit road. A lot of cars now with damage. I don't know what's going to happen next. This is a crazy race. This is going to allow the 25 of Felix Buecher and the 14 of Sarah Rocha to gain a couple more positions. This is not what the 6 of Simon Zornato wants. He wants the 14 and that 25 to be as far back as possible. Oh, you see the 91 Logan Gentry retired. Gary Harmon fixes his car. He's back out. Jacob Britt has damage. There must have been a crash after the caution. I don't know. This is a wild track. Wild race. Oh, the leaders are pitting. I didn't know if they'd be able to make it or not. Looks like there was a big crash coming off of turn number 4. I'll have to go back and check all the action out. First, the leaders are pitting. The cars that are staying out are a lap down. We'll have to see who comes off of pit road first. The other thing, if you're one of these lead drivers, if you get stuck further back in the pack, you're not going to have too much time to make your way towards the front and to get up to the main draft. If you lose the draft, that is big. As Damian Singletary gets the lead off of pit road. A lot of strategy happening, it looks like. Damian Singletary goes from 3rd to 1st. I believe. Then everybody else back here. So, let's go back. Let's see the initial cause for the caution. You see, it was right when they caught the 21 and the 25. Everybody bunches up and everybody just, everybody is trying to battle for position, trying to move somewhere. I don't know how Simon Zornato saved that car. Clint Spillman did spin out. And really not a lot of damage. Oh, yeah, there was damage there. You see the up where the 97 and 91 are, but watch the 8 of Clint Spillman. Oh, Alex Bruno hit him. And that was where that damage came from on that car. So Jacob Britt, we're going to watch him now. Don't know what happened with that car, but he did wreck as well. Somewhere. I don't know. Oh, it might be one of these slower cars. Jacob, oh, he spins out. Alex Bruno, Tim Brnagan, and I believe that's where the 24 comes into play. Yep, 24 of Alex Bruno, and oh, or 24 of Pablo West, not Alex Bruno. My gosh, this has been, it's an attrition race. It really is. It's basically a battle of who, I don't know, it's just a battle of who can survive. See, Alex Bruno retires, Logan Gentry, Jacob Britt, Evan McCollum, and the 24 of Pablo West. They all retire from the race. 32 cars left. '21, '25 there in pit road. 18 of Kagan Polshiner. This is going to be interesting. He is on the tail end of the lead lap. He's damaged. He's going to be starting on the outside line. The 25, the 2, and the 21 starting on the inside line. This could create a lot of issues on this restart. So, with all these crashes and the cautions and cars out, the 25 of Felix Buecher is 30th. Not good for him, but he is kind of rebounding, gaining some points over 38th and 39th. Tina Livingston, 25th. You've got the 14 of Sarah Rocha in 19th. She's doing all she can to try to work her way towards the front. Josh Hardiman, 20th. Skylar Rocha, 13th. You see Simon Zarnato, he is 5th. Sam Oskin, 7th. The 48 even, Ryan Benjamin, 9th place. Good run at Dover, and right now, top 10 for him. This could really put him close to the top 10 in points. It's going to be a wild finish, I think. I don't know what's going to happen. This could even get crazier than what we've seen. We will be right back. I've got to go take a restroom break. Pit stop. I'll be right back. Back at Talladega. The 18, Kagan Polshiner on the outside line. He is damaged and on the tail end of the lead pack. The 25, Felix Buecher, the 2, Tim Brnagan, and the 21, Robbie Bannister, slow and on the inside. If that 5, the 37, if they can't get by, this could create a lot of issues for them. I don't know. This could be a wild restart. And we could see a new leader, a couple cars break away from the rest of the pack. I don't know, really. I think we're at that point, too, where we have so many damaged cars that we might actually see a bigger pack of cars now. Possibly. I think probably about the top 10 cars are not damaged. From all the wrecks that have happened, we have 32 cars left in this race. A lot of cars out of the race. So, the 6 of Simon Zarnato restarting in 5th place. The 14 Sarah Rocha restarting 19th place. They are 2 of the drivers in the points trying to get the points lead today. Simon Zarnato right now has the best shot at that. All the points contenders have had issues at some point, whether they've wrecked or not. The 6 of Simon Zarnato almost wrecked and spun out. He did save it, though. Meanwhile, the 18 Kagan Polshiner leads the field to the green, even though he is not the leader. He is a little faster than that 25 and the 21. 25 and 21, they are going to slow some of these cars. And Damien Singletary, a lot of these drivers now getting past some of these slower cars. 3 and 4 wide back here. Kagan Polshiner is going to go one lap down, I believe. They're going to pass him with ease. 48 of Ryan Benjamin is right behind that 25 of Felix Buecher. Can he get by him? Right now, he can't. Now Skylar Roach is behind him as well. They're kind of stuck. We said we will have to see how many cars are actually going to be up front with this lead pack. Looks like maybe 14 or 15 or so cars. Thought I saw a crash. I don't think I did. No. Thought I did, but we didn't. So that's a good thing. These cars back here, they're just trying to get by that 25 of Felix Buecher. Ooh, Jacob Johnson, I thought he was going to get into the side of him. Meanwhile, up front, Dawson Montenegro, that 43, he is leading this race. Here comes the 6 of Simon Zarnato. 33, Sheila Harmon. She's up front as well. She was a big contender in the first Talladega race. She did a pretty good job. Hunter Blade, the 15. A lot of drivers up here that need a good run or haven't really had a good run. And they're up near the front. So cool to see some of these drivers up there. The 12 of Saman Oskin, he is up with this lead pack as well in the top 10. He is another points contender. A little further back than the 6 of Simon Zarnato. Simon Zarnato in a great position right now, trying to take second place away. John Book is on pit road. I don't know if he had help, if he was damaged from a wreck or what happened. Meanwhile, though, battling up front, but doesn't look like we're going to have a whole lot of action happen. I don't think we'll have another crash. 12 of Saman Oskin, he has been very impressive lately. He won at Pocono, and ever since then, he's been up near the front. Top 5, well, not top 5, but, well, yeah, he was actually 5th in points. He did fall back to 7th, or 6th, I'm sorry. Fell back to 6th in points. There he goes, trying to get past the 43 Dawson Montenegro. Think he's going to easily pass him. 18 laps to go. The 04 John Book is on the bottom of the track pretty slow. Is this going to cause any more issues, or are they going to be able to get by him without any issues? Yeah, they do. They get by him pretty easily. That's good to see that. So 11 cars in this lead pack right now. Look at the 33 Sheila Harmon being pushed by the 12 of Samet Oskin. Samet is gonna, well, I thought he was gonna try to pull out and, well, pull down below and get the lead away or take second place or something, but can't do it, not quite yet. Three wide now for the lead. Sheila Harmon to the lead. Now here comes Samet Oskin on the bottom. They're making contact. They're bumping into each other on the straightaway. Oh my gosh, I'm starting to lose my voice from all this. The 6 and the 33, they were into each other's door panels on the straightaway, bumping into each other. That 6, man, he is playing with fire. I think he's trying to win this race, obviously, but he is up here battling with these cars, and all he has to do is finish the race, and he could be the points leader. The 5 and the 15 now are side by side. Look at Tim Brnagan up near the front. Oh my gosh, they're 3, 4 wide again. Simon Zarnato up on the outside line all by himself. He is going to fall back. If these cars wreck, he is going to be involved in it, I think. Samet Oskin right now, the 12, he is the leader. He is blocking everybody as much as he can. Watching Simon Zarnato, the points leader. Skylar Rocha, Ron Jackson, Ryan Benjamin, they got past the 32 of Brett Taylor. Trying to watch the gap and see how far back they are. I think, yeah, they're losing a little bit of time. But as this race goes on, maybe they can catch up. If they can, it's going to be a pretty big pack of cars. Robbie Bannister pretty slow, 164 miles an hour. Felix Buecher is actually up to speed. He was a car that wasn't up to speed. You see he's at 180 miles an hour. Sarah Rocha, 26. She's fallen back. These cars up here, they're pretty fast right now. I can't believe that 6 of Simon Zarnato is the race leader in, or not the race leader, but, well, he is, almost. He's battling for the lead now. 2 and 3 wide behind him. 14 to go. 14 laps to go here at Talladega. We saw a lot of wrecks and carnage, chaos, all that kind of stuff early on. And ever since then, we've seen some pretty good racing with the leaders. A lot of 3 wide racing, some 2 wide here and there. Meanwhile, that second group behind them, they're almost even with these front cars. Simon Zarnato, that 6, gets the lead away from Sam Oskin. Imagine if that 6 and the 12 got tangled up in a wreck. That would be every single top 5 points contender, actually probably almost top 10 points contender involved in a wreck today. And that would be pretty wild. The 6, Simon Zarnato, did lead that lap, barely that time by. They're catching a slower car. That's the 21 of Robbie Bannister. Robbie is going to go a lap down here very soon. Again, he is, I believe, a lap down now. Robbie Bannister is 1 lap down. And, oh, the 37th of Cesar Ramirez almost into the 21 of Robbie Bannister. And now we got to look at this. Will there be a crash? These cars that are in the second group, they're starting to catch these cars. This could possibly give us a big pack of cars. Once the second group catches these cars, which they have. Look at Skylar Rocha making an aggressive move, trying to work his way through this pack. Everybody needs to get past that 21. If they can get past him, if these cars can get past and hold on to the 33 and the 15 and everyone else, I think these cars are probably going to go a lot faster than the leader, which leader right now, Simon Zarnato, 185 miles an hour. These cars back here are 190. Oh my gosh. Well, Ryan Benjamin might have lost the draft. So it's single file now for the most part. Up front here, it's not Damien Singletary. He gets by that 6 pretty easily. There's a group of cars now up at the front. If all of these cars can make it back to where the 6 and the 5 are up front here, we will have 15 cars in the lead pack. That could create a lot of issues for sure. In the meantime, 37, Cesar Ramirez takes the lead back again. Here's the 2 of Tim Brnagan, but the 2 is a lap down. Tim Brnagan is 1 lap down, so he is not in contention for the win. He's just up here battling with these cars. Simon Zarnato and the 148 are side by side, and they're touching. My gosh, Simon Zarnato not giving that 148 any room. Actually, it's the 148, not giving that 6 any room. Still in the turn. Are they going to hit? Oh my gosh, they make contact off of the turn, but they don't wreck. I don't know how. So it doesn't look like that 48 of Ryan Benjamin is going to be able to rejoin this pack. Unfortunate for him. He's 14th place. 4 wide here again. Points leader's back here behind all this mess. 14 cars are in this pack. 14 or 15. There's... Oh! Simon Zarnato into the wall! I think. Yeah, Simon Zarnato has damage in the wall. And meanwhile, another caution again, but... Oh my gosh. Tim Brnagan, Damien Singletary. They're involved. Simon Zarnato hit the wall. I don't know how much damage he has, but he might not be in contention for this win anymore. The 43, Dawson Montenegro, is now the leader again. They're 4 wide to the line. Now the 12 of Sam Oskin, the 81 Skylar Rocha. They are the 2 points contenders. Same with that 32 of Brett Taylor that are in the top 10. So another caution yet again. 14 Sarah Roja stays on the lead lap. 25 Felix Buecher is a lap down. Damian Singletary, Tim Brnagan, they all have damage. That 6 of Simon Zarnato. A lot of damage to that right side of his car. He's going to come down pit road, and he will probably end up losing the draft when the green flag goes back out. We should have probably 4 or 5 laps to go. Well, 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 this race has taken another exciting turn. Points contender again involved in a crash. I'm thinking that the top 5 cars have been involved in crashes, and I don't know, they're not able to make a lot of points up on the 80 of Stephen Pollard, but the cars that are like up in the top 10 or top 15, they're going to make a lot of ground up on these points leaders. It could be a pretty big battle for the championship. Oh, and the 18 of Kagan Polshiner just blew up under caution. He is coming down the pit road now. He was up near the front. He was a lap down, but my gosh, another car going to be out of the race. Simon Zarnato down pit road, so he is going to lose all of that track position he had. That time by, he was 13th. He is going to be back back in 27th, around the points leader, or second in points leader. I don't know. Anyway, let's go back, check out what happened in that crash. They were 4 wide. I didn't have a good feeling about that at all. But right there, the 32 Brett Taylor, he managed to get by, and then the 5 and the 18 hit each other. Ooh, Simon Zarnato, that was a hard hit. Damian Singletary spins out on the bottom. Watching the 6 of Simon Zarnato, he had a really good shot at being the points leader after today's race. I don't know if he's going to be the points leader. He doesn't have a whole lot of damage, I don't think, but I don't know. We got to watch from his point of view, from his car, and see what the damage is like. Let's see how hard of a hit that was. Running on board with Simon Zarnato, number 6. He doesn't have a lot of damage. He really does not. So I think Simon might be alright, actually. I mean, I don't think he's going to take the points lead away. But you never know. It depends on where he finishes. It depends on where the 14 finishes. 14, Sarah Roach, she was up to 19th at one point. Back to 25th right now. Kagan Polshiner had gearbox issues. But Sarah, one of the slower cars on the track just because of her damage. 13 positions ahead of Stephen Pollard. It's probably going to be about 60 points or so that she gains, which is nice. Definitely nice, but she's going to be 70 or 80 points back, I believe. So the 43, Dawson Montenegro, is the race leader. He is the race leader. He won the shootout and his Gatorade dual race at the beginning of the year at Daytona. Has not won a points race. Be pretty cool for him if he could get a win here at Talladega. Been pretty fast at the super speedway tracks. So lap 41 out of 47. We will be right back. Alright, we are back here at Talladega. Fields in turn 3 and 4. Getting ready to restart this race yet again. A lot of drivers up front, eager for their first win. A lot of drivers want their next win, second or third win. 43 Dawson Montenegro has never won a points race in this series. He is right ahead in front of the 12 of Sam Oskin, the Daytona 500 winner. Both drivers very good at Daytona. The 33 Sheila Harmon good at Talladega. Green flag back in the air. 5 more laps to go. Look at the 12 of Sam Oskin. He got a huge jump over the 43 of Dawson Montenegro. He might actually pass him. He does pass him. Can he clear him and get below the 43? Meanwhile, the 81 Skylar Roach on the inside line. He's going to try to pass both of them. Could have a big pack of cars here now. There's no lap cars to mess with anybody here. The 6 of Simons are not pretty far back in the field as well. Here comes that 32 of Brett Taylor. He's going to make it 4 wide again. Oh my gosh, the 148 Brian Lancaster, the 43 Dawson Montenegro, they touch. No crash. Somehow they managed to make it without a crash. Through the triumph of the 81 Skylar Rocha, leading at Dover last week. And then he got passed and passed by the 80 of Stephen Pollard and did not win that race. He was not happy about that, but a second place finish helped him in points. So you can't really complain too much about that, but obviously a win taken away like that is never a good thing. There's a lot of cars up here that are trying to catch up to this pack. This race, by the way, is almost over. The 32, Brett Taylor back down low. He hasn't won a race yet. That'd be cool to see him win. They're racing so close together. 148 Brian Lancaster now. He is out front. Look at the 32 Brett Taylor. He does have help. Ryan Benjamin, there's a crash. Big crash. The 12 is around. The 33 Sheila Harmon. Oh, the 17. Another big crash. A lot of cars hitting each other. Upside down, the 9. The 33 Sheila Harmon was involved. Everybody trying to scoop by. The 6 got involved with that. Oh my gosh. And meanwhile, do we have a race back to the line? No, it's the 37. Cesar Ramirez is the leader. The 12 of Sam Oskin, another points contender. He is going to be out of the race. His car's here trying to figure out where they're lined up. The 81 Skylar Rocha, he has damage. Meanwhile, the 37, Cesar Ramirez, he knows he's the leader. All he has to do is finish this race, and he will get his first win. Could it be Cesar Ramirez? Everyone's still trying to figure out their positions. The 33 Sheila Harmon, the 12 Sam Oskin. So many good cars. The 9 of Bruce Zero, another points contender. I literally think every points contender wrecked today. Or has some kind of damage. So, where are the points contenders going to be at? See, the 43 Dawson Montenegro already retires from the race. This could put the 14 up pretty high in the field. The 6 of Simon Renato as well. That 12 of Sam Oskin, unfortunate for him. Him and Skylar Rocha, they were hoping to cash out and be in the top 3 in points, and that's not going to happen today. So 2 laps to go. The 37 Cesar Ramirez is the race leader. You see second, the 148 of Brian Lancaster. Third is the 32 of Brett Taylor. Fourth, Ryan Benjamin in the 48 car. Fifth is the 99 of Axel Zero. Sixth, Skylar Rocha. Seventh, Sean Howe. Eighth, Hunter Blade. Ninth, Ron Jackson. And 10th is Josh Hardiman. Obviously, if they don't have to, they're not going to come down pit road. See, these three cars are definitely damaged and going to be out of the race. This is going to allow some of these cars, like the 25 of Felix Buecher, to gain a couple positions at least. He did get past the 43. He's going to get past the 90. Should be able to get past the 17, the 9, and the 12 once they retire from the race. My gosh, that was bizarre. That was like some of the most intense racing I think we've seen this year. We hate seeing races end under caution, but it happens sometimes. So the 37, Cesar Ramirez, he was the leader at Chicagoland like 4 or 5 races ago when we had that race. Was the race leader, and the 14 of Sarah Rocha, the 2 of Tim Brnagan, they were able to get by him with fresh tires, and he ended up finishing, I believe, 4th that race. He felt like he was denied a victory, a win, and now here he is at Talladega, the leader, 1 more lap to go, and as long as he doesn't blow up, he is going to win the race. The lone points contender, 81 of Skylar Rocha, is 6th, so he is going to gain a good bit of points. A lot of drivers are going to be able to gain. That's the thing. It's going to be pretty close now. Felix Buecher up to 24th after his finish, after his day, the wreck that he was in. That is not a bad finish at all. I mean, if you have a car left after this thing, that's pretty much a victory. Cesar Ramirez going to get his first victory. See the 33 of Sheila Harmon. She's in 12th. We will go back and look at the caution, or what happened in that huge wreck, in just a moment. But we want to make sure everybody gets to the starting line first, finishes this race. Looks like everybody will. So that 37 of Cesar Ramirez getting his first victory near the end of the season. Here we go across the starting line. You're going to see the flagman momentarily waving the checkered flag. Cesar Ramirez is the race winner. So let's go back and look at the reason for the caution. Oops, not Brett Taylor. Brett Taylor, 3rd place finish. That's a really good finish for him, too. Saw the 9 of Bruce Zero. He was upside down. Sam Oskin racing with the 148 and the 81. He actually made contact with Skyler, and that kind of started it all. And Sam Oskin, heavy damage in the 17, the 9. They both got a huge piece of the wreck. See everybody else just kind of slowing down. Oh, that's where Jacob Johnson got his damage at. So let's watch from the 12. Whoops. little, yeah, not, okay, there we go. So, and also the 37, he got hit, and that's how he missed that wreck and got the lead. That's the hit that did Sam Oskin in. Bruce Zero was upside down, Jacob Johnson, a lot of other cars involved. Um, let's go ahead and watch on Cesar Ramirez. I mean, he made a fantastic save. Let's watch from his far chase view. You're going to see, I mean, they make some contact, the 12 and the 81. 81 comes down, and right there, I mean, that's how he got the lead. And the massive crash happens behind them. So, Cesar Ramirez's first win this season. A lot of cars up near the front that normally aren't up there. Not too much, at least. Points are going to be very wild. You see the top 28 cars there. We're going to show you the rest of the cars in just a few seconds. If you want, you can pause the video to see where you're at. And here's the bottom half of the field. Obviously from Jacob Johnson all the way down, out of the race. 27 cars survived somehow. Not too many survived without damage. So, we're going to go see what the points are like real quick after this dramatic and crazy race. Join us and watch. We will be there in a few seconds. So the points after race number 21 at Talladega, the points lead has changed once again. Stephen Pollard falling back to third after being involved in a crash and retiring from the race, and the 14 of Sarah Rocha back to the top. Simon Zarnato moves into second. See, fourth is now Sam Oskin, and gaining 4 positions in 5th place is Brett Taylor. So we said at the beginning of Talladega that we would probably find out who could compete for the championship, and I would say right now it would probably just be the top 9 drivers, maybe even just the top 7 drivers, but the top 9 within 200 points. I think with 4 races left, anybody in the top 9 could get to first and could compete for the championship. Obviously, the main drivers in this point series, the 4 drivers who have really been up top all year long, is the 14 of Sarah Rocha, the 6 of Simon Zarnato, the 80 of Stephen Pollard III, and then Tim Zimmer, the 45, but he is back in 7th place now. He has fallen back. The top 3 within 50 points of each other, and then from 4th back to 9th, they're within about 50 points, actually 48 points of each other. So, but Sam Oskin, as of late, he has been very, very good. Him, Simon Zarnato, and Skylar Rocha all have the most top 10s out of anybody this season. You see the 14 of Sarah Rocha, the 7 of Tina Livingston, are actually the only 2 drivers that have not actually wrecked out of a race and had a DNF. Although everybody else in the top 10, they have more top 5s and 10s than Sarah Rocha. Well, at least more top 10s. Sarah only 5 top 10s, but she has 2 wins. So, her and Sam Oskin 2 wins. So, we will see what happens on the next race. I can't tell you what race is going to be next because I'm not really sure. Originally, we were going to go to Dover, we were going to go to Martinsville, Lowe's, and then Atlanta. But we've already been to those tracks. I want to try to do different tracks if we can. We might do Homestead as the final race. So it's going to be a surprise, the last 4 races. If you've watched this far into this video, a little teaser, I guess, a little surprise for you. The final race will be live streamed on YouTube. After doing the Halloween event, we had a lot of fun doing that, and we're going to try doing more races. I can't guarantee every single race will be live streamed for the rest of the season, but the final race will be live streamed. We will see who gets the points championship, so you have to tune in to that and watch that with us. Look down here, and let's see, after Talladega, Clint Spillman in 32nd position. That moves Randon Pickett down to 33rd. Actually, they did not lose any positions. They actually stayed the same. Tyrell Resner has moved up to 34th, He is only 82 points out of 33rd position, but he's about 168 points away from Clint Spillman from being in the top 32. So if Clint Spillman wrecks and if Rhiannon Pickett does not make it into the next race, Tyrell has a pretty good shot at least getting close to the 32nd position. I don't know if he'll be able to get into that position or not, but you never know. He might be able to. But other than that, a lot of drivers changing positions, just a couple positions here and there. You see over here, this is kind of where they like how many positions they gained or lost. But it's going to be a fun race. Race number 22 is going to be next. And find out on that day, whenever we upload the video, what race what race that's going to be, what track we're going to go to. Like I said, we don't really know. So give us some time and we'll know what races we're going to do next and such. So until then, we will see you guys next time. Have a great day. Thank you for watching yet again. Season is almost over. It's going to be very dramatic, I can imagine.